Blue Lock leaks have just dropped, and we have some crazy news for Nagi and an appearance of Buratsuta who offers him a way out. Anyway, let's get straight into this week's chapter. We first see Nagi sitting in his classroom while students are discussing what to do after class. Nagi gets up and walks to the bike rack to get his bike. On his way home, he thinks to himself, if he is going to die like this, maybe he'll never get fired up again. Nagi hates this feeling and wants to go back to Blue Lock, which fired him up so much. He wants to so bad he actually decides to bike all the way to the Blue Lock stadium. Once he reaches the front door, he starts banging on it and asks, "Please open up and let me in. Give me a chance to fight in Blue Lock, just one more time." No one answers, so he decides he will come again the next day. The next day he knocks again and asks them to hear him out. Since no one answers, he decides to set up a tent to train right next to the door. Over the next few days, he pretty much just trains, eats, and begs to be let in. A few days later, still no one answers. He thinks to himself, maybe he should try getting in from another entrance, but then remembers he can directly contact one of the Blue Lock players, maybe even Ego. He thinks maybe Rin or Baru would listen to him, but decides to try talking to Reo. But when he tries to text him, it says, "This account does not accept messages from you." Just then we hear Henri talking and telling Nagi that this is private property and any further presence will be considered trespassing. If he doesn't leave, Henri will call the police. "You are no longer connected to Blue Lock, you are an outsider." Nagi agrees with her and says he guesses so. While it starts to rain, he thinks about how trying to get back in is so lame, and did he really think he was going to be let back in? He already lost, and he's trying to rely on Rio again. He kicks all his stuff he brought and rages about how he's being left behind and can't change. He hits the door, and right then we see the JFU chairman approach him from behind. He walks up to him and says, "Hello, genius." Approaching the ultimate peak is the JFU chairman. What he offers is either the ultimate strategy or the temptation of the devil. This concludes chapter 306, and although it was only about Nagi, I honestly loved seeing it, as this more than likely means Nagi will return back to Blue Lock in some way. Buratsuta is in charge of everything, so if he wants something, technically it will happen with or without Ego or Henri's permission. As always, make sure to subscribe, as I put out videos like this all the time, and as always, have a great day.